Hey there. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I've literally never had a problem with audio, and I'm well known for making excellent choices regarding microphones, room noise, audio mixing. I'm just really smart. For those of you who have been around for a little while, you might remember this. So, I had a problem to solve, but I'm poor, so I don't have much money to solve this problem with. But then, I saw an ad for BOYA's Kickstarter, the Magic Mic. No, not that Magic Mic. It's a shotgun mic, it's a handheld mic, it's a computer desktop mic, it's a wireless lav mic. No, it's two of them. It sounds pretty magical. I purchased the Pimp Daddy bundle option, which includes everything, including all three kinds of receivers. This runs $130, but you can save $10 by ditching the Lightning port receiver, or go as low as $90 just to have the USB-C receiver out of those three options. So this really does come off as the thrifty man solution to a lot of dodgy audio scenarios. But does it live up to the marketing? I am exceedingly skeptical, if anything because of their very lofty claims and their very small size.
But then you are very small.
For about $100, each of these four forms are probably going to have superior alternatives already out there on the market. But again, the appeal here is the flexibility that the BOYA Magic Mic claims to have. At any point, feel free to either roast or toast the audio quality in the comments. This review wasn't going to be sponsored, but then after I already put my money down for the Kickstarter, BOYA actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, we've got this microphone, do you want to review it?" And I said, "I guess so." And they said, "Cool, we'll send you one." And I said, "I guess so." So while this review is technically sponsored, I would never accept anything in exchange for a lie. I have a complicated history with audio because I really like things to sound good, and I generally have what I need to do it, but I try so hard to make it sound right that it ends up deafening me, like a vacuum trying to suck up the hair that ultimately clogs the motor. So I think what's going to make the most sense for this review video is that I record as much of it as I can on the BOYA Magic Mic, and any other microphones I use, I'll call out when I'm using them. For example, this is the Tascam DR-05X. I love this microphone. It has been my closest companion for many years, but it's large and frequently large. Handheld is the most natural configuration for the Magic Mic when you're just looking at it. It's pleasantly sized, and even though it's really light, it still has just enough weight that you can kind of swing it around. It has a good heft. Using the Magic Mic in handheld mode is as simple as yoinking this little receiver off of the bottom and plugging it into the USB-C port of whatever makes the most sense for you at the time, whether that's a computer, a tablet, smartphone, whatever. Or you can also use the Magic Mic directly into the camera receiver. Oh, look at that. You won't get it in the cheapest bundle, but it's really nice to have if you're filming on a professional camera like this. Of course, if you're using a phone to film, it couldn't be any easier. All you have to do is just pop off, boop, that little thing. It's magnetically attached, and you pop it right into your phone. Boop. That's it. Simple as that. I just realized that my air conditioning is on, so I'm going to kick on the noise cancellation. There. I hope there's less background noise now. If I need to charge my phone while using the Magic Mic, it's no sweat. There's a USB-C port right on the bottom of this, specifically for that purpose. All you have to do is just plug in and boom, pass-through charging. That's pretty cool. That's the only thing that USB-C port does. There's another USB-C port on the back of this mic. This is what charges the entire unit. This one is just pass-through from my phone. It just works. Simple as that. There's an app that gives you a decent amount of control and level monitoring while you're using the Magic Mic. But besides the first time setup that happens in that app, it's totally optional. And honestly, the app isn't so bad. I'll dig into that a little more later. As far as quality goes, while the BOYA Magic Mic is in handheld mode, I'm willing to bet that this is about as good as the Magic Mic is going to get, because handheld mode gives good passive sound isolation, and you're generally going to be maintaining a consistent distance between the source of the sound and the microphone itself. Let's switch over to the shotgun mic. Assembling the shotgun mic involves pulling apart the desktop stand that comes with the Magic Mic. So I pull this metal adapter off, and the adapter is actually really sturdy. It seems really well made. And along the bottom of the Magic Mic is a screw mount. Screw that in. So now I'm standing at a distance of about 4 feet from my camera, where it's using the Magic Mic as a shotgun mic. Noise cancellation is currently active, but if I turn that off, this is what it sounds like without the noise cancellation active. For a point of reference, adjusted for volume, this is what the onboard microphone of the Sony a7 III camera sounds like. And again, this is what it sounds like with the Magic Mic being used as a shotgun mic with noise cancellation off. Of the 4 possible configurations for the Magic Mic, I expect the shotgun mode to be probably the least interesting. A real shotgun mic is purpose-built to be directional. All of its hardware is focused on a cone right in front of it, allowing it to do one thing very well. The Magic Mic, as of right now, is basically, at the end of the day, just a lav mic attached to the top of a camera, and the quality is probably pretty impressive when you think about it that way. The sound cancellation is, of course, still available in this configuration, and I should clarify, sound cancellation is available on all 4 of these configurations. At any point, you can hit that button, whether it's on the lav mic itself or on the charging case of the microphones, which is the handheld unit, and it turns on noise cancellation. So that is always available to you in any configuration. The third configuration is as a desktop mic. At the great personal expense of showing the internet just how messy my desk is, let me show you how easy this is to do. I'm just going to attach the Magic Mic to that same screw hole that we used in its shotgun configuration. Man, screwing is hard. After loosening up this nut, we can just pivot any which way, tighten it back up. As far as connectivity goes, you just remove that USB-C adapter from the bottom of it, plug it right into a USB-C port on your computer or tablet, and then you just turn it on, and bam. After plugging in that little USB-C receiver, it's just within seconds, you're ready to go, whether it's in Microsoft Teams or Google Hangout or Discord or whatever. It just shows up as a BOYA Magic Mic microphone input. That's incredibly easy. If you want your Magic Mic to be primarily a desktop mic, it probably makes the most sense to leave this continually plugged in to USB-C power. By God, is it just so simple to set up. Huge fan of that. Speaking of huge fan, I don't know, I'm not very good at segues. I need to get a little better at writing scripts with segues in them, you know? But anyways, the last configuration of the BOYA Magic Mic is my favorite, a lavalier mic. Now, I am no stranger to lavalier mics. I do a little bit of wedding videography on the side, and so I'm pretty used to miking up grooms with the DR-10L. The Tascam DR-10L is a nifty little bulletproof lavalier microphone unit, but having a wire on a groom is almost always going to create complications because inevitably, on somebody's wedding day, they're going to catch this on a doorknob, and it's caused issues before. So, I'm very excited about having wireless lav mics. I'll be honest, I don't expect this lav mic to have the same sound quality as that DR-10L. That's a wired, dedicated unit, and this is a little lav mic that's trying its damnedest to do 4 different things in one product. But this thing is awesome. It's so light, it's so small. It's about the size of a suppository, if that helps you feel out roughly how big it is. And the fact that it comes included in a package with all those other configurations. What's that? Oh, Mr. President, a second lav mic has hit the charging case. That's right, there are 2 lav mics in this charging case, and right now, they're both recording. What does that mean? It means they're recording in stereo. Do I need to record my voice in stereo? No, almost certainly not, but where this does matter is if I'm recording an interview and I want to be able to record both speakers to the same audio track. That's really cool, especially considering how easy this whole thing is. And then, of course, when you're working in your video editor, you can separate a stereo track so that you have 2 separate mono tracks coming out of a single stereo track. Honestly, I think I just need a little more practice in where to place lav mics, because the sound quality varies wildly just depending on where you place it. Let me know if you have any helpful tips to this. The wireless lav game is pretty new to me. Another neat little thing is that these are magnetic. Yeah, there's a little magnet on the back here, so you can stick that puppy in your shirt and then clip it wherever you want. This pair of open scissors is my microphone now. I'm using it to teach preschool next week. The fact that it's wireless is just going to be a huge upgrade for me, but how far can it be wireless? So I came out to the baseball field to test this out, and I've got my wonderful wife helping me. Well, that's pretty far. You can still hear me though? Oh, okay, so it was clipping out while I was running, but you can hear me now. I don't want to climb the fence, but I do what I gotta. I'm running this way. So that did it. That was well over 300 feet. I think my international friends with free healthcare, that's about 100 meters. You should be able to just hear my voice at this point. No cicadas in the background, no traffic noise, no breeze. Now if I turn noise cancellation back off, the ambient sounds of summer and air conditioning and cars and bugs. I really was just out here to test how far I could go and still actually get a strong signal. And it looked like 300 feet and then some, which is great, but the signal totally dropped while I was running out. And then even as I was meandering back. It's probably not a big deal for really any logical use case that I can think of, but there's that. Let's move on. Let's talk about something else. I have this little lav mic clipped onto something inside of my helmet now, and I'm really grateful that this microphone has a safety track. You can record in stereo, which means a left and a right channel. You can set one of those channels, so you can set a right channel to be the safety track, so the gain drops down quite a bit. Active noise cancellation is off currently, so it's going to be probably pretty noisy, even on the safety track right now. But I have this little lav mic mounted in my helmet. Let's hit the road and see just how noisy we can get and just how well the active noise cancellation works on the BOYA Magic Mic. Oh, let me turn that on. Okay, active noise cancellation should now be on. Hopefully this isn't exploding the audio. I'm making sure that this is a noisy ride right now. Revving it, and my visor obviously is open, so how much of this audio is actually getting removed from the mix? Let me close the visor now, and this is honestly a more accurate representation of Magic Mic in its lav configuration. Let's talk about that ANC, the active noise cancellation. It did an incredible job on the BOYA Magic Mic, although I'll admit the safety track was a bit of a letdown. It seems to me that there's a gain floor on this mic, and it wasn't able to overcome the fact that my voice was this far from the mic in a very noisy scenario on the motorcycle. I'm disappointed but not surprised. So if I pump some office noise into the mix here, let's turn on that ANC. Noise cancellation on a microphone typically turns your voice a little shitty, just a little robotic, clip it around the edges, sort of like doing background removal on an image that leaves jaggy artifacts behind. BOYA trained this ANC with an AI not only on countless hours of human voices, but also on background noises, all of which built this algorithm to differentiate the nearest human voice from every other undesirable background noise. Okay, that's enough of that. I don't even know if the mic was picking up any of that background noise, but it was very overstimulating for me. I work from home. When it comes to battery, each lav mic has a little battery in it that can go up to 6 hours depending on your range and ANC usage. That's pretty sweet considering the size of those lav mics. The case itself can juice one of those lav mics all the way back up about 3 or 4 times before needing a recharge itself, meaning that the whole package lasts for about 24 hours pretty easily in any of those non-lav mic configurations, depending on your usage. That's more than enough for my use cases. Video shoots like this become just completely worry-free, and even long wedding days don't cause me to have any battery anxiety. The BOYA app is straight up pretty good. It doesn't have great reviews on the App Store, but I haven't had any issues with it. It's easy to use, just like the mic itself. While it does provide helpful controls and level monitoring when the USB-C or Lightning receiver is plugged into your phone, the app is by no means mandatory. Controlling both gain and noise cancellation levels, however minimally, is nice. And being able to custom EQ the mic is a really thoughtful feature, although I personally just prefer to do that in post. One thing that I really like is being able to turn off the little blue light on the lav mic itself. They're pretty bright, and although they are helpful in many scenarios, it wouldn't do to have them on in a client's wedding video. From here you can also enable safety tracks, which is only doable when you're recording in mono, because it uses one of those stereo tracks. Lastly, there's this option down here called speaker. I don't think it's relevant to this product at all. I have no idea what it means. It doesn't do anything. The instructions for the Magic Mic are not very good, and I don't think there's a speaker anywhere on this, nor is there a need for it. This all sounds pretty nice, and I see you reaching for that credit card, so let me remind you to wait. I'm bad at both segues and acronyms. There are a number of things that I dislike about the BOYA Magic Mic. Handheld mode has a lot of noise from the unit itself. Even me just fiddling with this now is surely causing a lot of noise. It doesn't really get any better when ANC is on either. Also, I don't really like the BOYA branding on these mics. I know why they did it, and I'm not really upset about it, but it is just like very there. But more importantly, I don't love them on the lav mics. I want to be sharpieing these out or putting a little bit of electrical tape over them when I'm doing weddings. Next, the audio quality simply is not incredible. Although, to be honest, it's very difficult to overcome physics. So considering the form factor, I'm not terribly disappointed in the audio quality. In fact, it's a little bit better than I expected. Next, I do wish that I could monitor audio levels from the app while the microphone is connected to my camera receiver. As of right now, that app only works if you have the USB-C receiver plugged into it, which means that audio is only going from mic to phone. There will be times where I'm recording audio, and I'll surely wish that I could be checking levels and changing settings for the microphone on the fly from my phone. Lastly, I would lose my mind if this microphone offered onboard recording and storage, like my beloved Tascam DR-05X does. That would be the fifth and final configuration that would cement this as an unbeatable combo package. Maybe for the BOYA Magic Mic too. Did that joke get old yet? By the way, did you know that it's mentally draining to write down complaints, voice them to a camera, and then have to spend hours editing the footage of my own self complaining? Please consider subscribing if you have any sense of gratitude for me whining about cool gadgets. Alright, how about a wrap up? The audio quality is slightly better than I expected, although I did keep the bar fairly low for myself. Even with the Magic Mic positioned at a natural distance, it can't really keep up like my beloved Tascam DR-05X. But that's not exactly a fair comparison, is it? Because this is a completely different product. So I don't really consider that a point against the BOYA here. At the end of the day, this product is all about flexibility. For that reason, my recommendation greatly depends on whether or not you would actually use all of this flexibility. If you want a good mic dedicated just for virtual meetings on your computer, you would do better with a good headset or a dedicated mic on a boom arm. If you only want a wireless lav mic, the DJI Mic Mini or even some of BOYA's other offerings might do a little better for the same price. If you're really just after a good handheld mic for voiceovers and field recording, go for that Tascam. I'm in love with that thing. It's so good. And if you're just looking for a good shotgun mic for your camera, you can get way better than the Magic Mic for like half the price. But of those 4 categories, if you want 2 or more of these, this is actually a screaming deal. And as much as the marketing will hype up the form factor, which is awesome, and the AI, which is surprisingly good, ultimately the Magic Mic exists for value and convenience. Besides the shotgun mic configuration, which I think is pretty worthless, I'm a huge fan of the Magic Mic. I'll still use that Tascam microphone when I'm in situations where I can comfortably use it, like when I'm sitting down and yapping at a camera. But for everything else, this Magic Mic is about to be ridden hard and put away wet, so to speak. Are there any other scenarios for this microphone that you'd like to see tested? Let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to test any other scenarios because I like helping people out. I'll drop links in the description for all of the products that I talked about today. I think there is still a small pre-order discount for the Magic Mic, but I don't expect that to last much longer. As always, thank you for watching. Consider liking and subscribing if this was remotely helpful. And please just take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.